Hello, I'm Gina, and I'm here today to talk to you about my stitching. I am a stitcher, a quilter, anything that's got to do with a needle, I'm going to be stitching. I do wool applique, quilting of course, machine applique, hand piecing, English paper piecing. I do it all. Recently I started doing cross stitch. Originally today I was going to include some cross stitch, but I think the video would be too long. So I'm gonna give you like a cross stitch, who am I, update, whatever, in another video. And you get to say hello to me again. So mostly I just want to give you my update. So a little history here. I have a Facebook group called What's Under Your Needle? And that's the question I answer to you every time I do a video, is what is under my needle? So it is January 3rd. I actually know the date. Unlike my last video, I know the day. It is Tuesday. Yeah, I'm doing good. Kids are back to school. Quick little update about the holidays. They were great. Not too many holidays aren't great. As long as you have the loved ones around and family, you're good. This year we did something a little different on the school break, the holiday break. Took the grandkids. Hubby had to stay home. He had to work, cover the office. But my son took his children, and of course, you know, I'm the sidekick. And we went down and we stayed with another one of my sons in New Jersey. And just as it always happens when I visit New Jersey, I come back with some kind of allergy situation. I grew up there. I always say I'm from New Jersey, even though I live in Massachusetts for 24 whatever years. If I were to guess, because it's winter, there's no flowers, well, you know, it's the pine trees. That's my only guess. Because today, I almost didn't do the video, but the one thing I found out through going through this for the past few visits, if cold medication doesn't work, you take allergy medication. If allergy medication clears up the symptoms, according to the doctor, if allergy medicine clears up the symptoms, you have allergies. Who knew? Anyway, I think I'll get through the video without sniffing and all that other, you know. While we were in New Jersey for our visit, it was really lovely because the kids got to see all their cousins. And a quick little adorable story, because I love to do adorable. My granddaughter, 7 years old, almost 8, she wants, you know, I'm trying to get her to build her relationship with her girl cousins because she's got 4 brothers. Anyway, so Ruby is 6, going to be 7. So Layla turns 8, then Ruby turns 7. So they're close enough. Ruby's very tiny and Layla happens to be very tall, so it's very adorable. Okay, so quick story. We go over to my son Robert's house, which is Ruby's dad. And the boys are playing outside with go-karts and BB guns and boy stuff. And right away, Ruby and Layla trot off into the house. I don't see them for a while. Then my daughter-in-law comes home from her errands and stuff and says hello, goes inside to get caught up with some stuff. She comes out an hour later, chatting for a little bit, goes back in the house again. She's in there for like maybe another hour. It's almost time for us to leave. And the front door opens and my daughter-in-law yells out, "Hey Ma, is Layla allergic to cats?" What did I do? Oh, you know what? I forgot. She's allergic to cats and you have a cat. Hives everywhere. Luckily, she didn't, you know, go into the whole breathing. Got Benadryl on board right away. Got her out of the house, away from the cat. Got her in a shower. Oh my God. So yeah, that's my life. I just don't remember everything. The allergy thing is new. About a year and a half ago, but we thought it was kittens because kittens are a little bit different. So then later we're asking her, Layla, were you patting the cat? Were you holding, well, you know? And then I find out she was holding it and rubbing her face and kissing him. Well, yeah, you're gonna get your allergies all kiku. Yeah, so hopefully I won't have many stories like that. And that was an isolated incident. We did have all the kids together because my son Robert wanted to get a picture of all the grandkids with the grandma in a picture. And they have a really great friend photographer who does amazing work. And so I'm looking forward to getting to see some of those pictures. But we had all of them together, which is almost impossible these days, but it was fun. Okay, blah, enough of that. 6 minutes later. So anyway, I'm here to give you an update about my WIPGO board, tell you a couple things that are going on, let you know about some plans that I have, and we're going to get moving along because that clock is going to chime in 30 minutes, and it's very annoying, and I don't want to make this video long. I love watching YouTube videos. I watch a lot of FlossTube, and sometimes they can drag on. Like I'm like, I want to see the next thing. So here I am doing it again. Anyway, so moving on. I hope to bring you an update every couple weeks. The purpose of me doing a YouTube channel, and this is a no frills channel, not a big video production. I don't want to cut into my stitching time by learning how to edit and make all pretty, you know, I just want to connect, build my community, be accountable to you with all the things that I promised myself I want to do. And I want to give you the opportunity to maybe get, you know, motivated and inspired. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have another video. And so I plan on doing like an every couple of weeks kind of thing, update. And I will soon be doing a cross stitch, not like the big leagues. Okay, a little bit cross stitch, not a lot. And that's about it. So here we are on a very dreary day, which I love. I love winter, and I love rainy winters. I like cold winters. I like any excuse. Well, I don't really want to go out. It's really cold today. I don't want to go out. It's really raining, because I get to stitch more. I love the spring and summer when you go out and do stuff outside, but boy, I do like to snuggle into winter. You know what I mean? Just snuggle up to it. So, WIPGO numbers 18 and 15, I called on December 28th. It's funny because this is new. One of my stitchy friends says, I don't understand. What's this number? 1,815? What are you talking about? She's funny. So anyway, here's my WIPGO board. So the last video I showed you my final final WIPGO. Well, this is my final of my final finally. Get it? Anyway, I'm showing it to the camera because I can't cheat. Because you can always go back, do a little screenshot and say, excuse me, lady, you cheated. I'm not going to cheat. Yes, it's my board. Yes, it's my rules, but I set these goals for a reason because I don't want to change them. I want to meet the goals. I want to move on. I want to get it going. Okay. So as random as it is, I call number 15 and 18 because that's what the little random number generator picked out. And don't you know, it lands on block 15, which is 2 blocks from Dancing Chickens Flying Pigs. And number 18 is 2 blocks of Dancing Chickens Flying Pigs. I have to do 4 wool applique hand stitching blocks. Criminy. Yeah. It's going to be a little tough, I have to say. It's going to be a little tough. I'm going to give it my very best. So I have, this is one of the 4 blocks of 12, by the way, not 8, which I originally goofed up. I have this one partially started, and then I have 3 more to make a total of 4. Yikes. So that's what I drew on my WIPGO board. So on my board, if you're using my board, you can see I put a little red X on 15 and 18 on the little box that says called. So I know those numbers were called. Sure, it's easy now because it's the first month, and of course that's the only thing that was called, so it's easy. So then here's my detail pages, and on 18 and 15, well 15's on this page, you can see I wrote January. That way I know that's when it was called, and if I don't get it done, it'll just keep me a little more organized. Okay, so that's my WIPGO for January. So I have to do those 4 blocks. I'm gonna do my very best. I do have a Socation weekend coming up. I started Sokations way back when I had my quilt shop. And I think we tracked it all the way back to 2013 because, you know, we're a little older, we forget when we do stuff, and I had to do all the counting. So a Socation is a sewing vacation. It's not really like a retreat, but it isn't. So it's very simple. You can make it any way you want. So what it means is it's a very low price because it's just for your sewing room access. If you want to stay over at the hotel, you can. If you want to buy your meals out, you can. So you're going to just decide on how big you want to go for your retreat. And we call them Sokations, and I have a Socation weekend coming up. It's about 10 a year. Last April was my last Socation, where I was the owner of Sokations and I ran them. And so part of my retirement plan was to phase that out. So as I sold my grab-and-go business, I also sold out the Sokations to a very wonderful lady named Maria. And so if you would like to come to one of our Sokations, you can visit Pinwheels, with an S, plural, pinwheels.com, and look at the Sewcation tab and get more details. But it starts Friday. And so I always plan, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I know this sounds weird, but I don't want to spend my Socation doing my WIPGO. I want to do my Socation stuff. My WIPGO board to me is, okay, you've got plans to finish some of your old stuff. So live life the way you normally would, start what you start, do what you do, and know that as long as you meet your WIPGO goals, you'll have very little stitchy guilt by the end of the year. That's what I'm doing. So I wanted to tell you about Sokations. So go ahead out there and visit Maria's website if you want to get a little update. But speaking of things that I accomplished, I sign up for a lot of things. I start a lot of things. I blame Facebook, I blame YouTube, I blame Instagram, or I credit them, whichever way you want to look at it. So I've got quite a few ideas, some things, you know, you sort through them, you figure out what you want to do. But last year I signed up with Kathy Schmitz for something called Blessed Gatherings. Yeah, that's it. And if you're on my Facebook group, you saw a picture of my project, and I did finish. Most of the year I kept up. I fell behind a little, then I had to do like 2 months, then I fell behind, I had to do like 3 months, but I did this prior to January 1st. It's so cute. I like it. And so I'm not quilting it. I actually want to look for like a rustic frame and just kind of frame it. It's a year-round piece, but it just speaks winter to me. And I don't know. I don't know. So I did that. And speaking of all those enabling websites and social media platforms, I'm on a lot of newsletter, you know, groups and things. And Maria sent out her Black Friday email, like any good businesswoman would do. And she talked about a project she's going to be running in 2023. She's going to be doing an English paper piecing stitch along. I'll have more details for you about that next time. I will be seeing Maria this weekend. Our plans are that I will do a little bit of an interview with her so you can get all the details, the deets, straight from the lady herself. And I'll have a video for you on that. In the meantime, I thought I was going to participate. Okay. You got to know when to say no. And I just had to say no to myself. It's like, pull back the reins, lady. Slow down. But I did buy the little pattern and kit to make her basic zipper bag. And this is like a stitchy bag that you can put your English paper piecing in for her stitch along. And so that's how she promoted it. And so I did my little hand stitching. Cute, cute. I love this part. That's, you know, the fun part. What came in this particular kit was that melt away fusible, like it sticks to your fabric. She ran it through the printer, so the design was printed on that melt away stuff, and I stitched through it, which I always thought was very difficult. It isn't. You do have to be aware. Sometimes when you skim your needle and you only want to pick up a few threads, you might miss the fabric and just go between that sticky stuff and your fabric. But for the most part, you can avoid that. And I was able to do that. And so this is actually the second time that I've used that product, and I did my cute little trees. And so at Socation, I do plan to make the little pouch. So there's the pattern for the little pouch. I got the fabric kit. Maria is a distributor for WIPGO Fabrics, Japanese fabric company. And although it's not my style, it's pretty. And so this is my fabric for that little zippy pouch. And you know, so what if it's not my style? At the very least, I get a cute little zippy pouch, and you could always give it as a gift to another stitcher. Okay. On my first video, before my final version of my WIPGO board, I put on a couple of projects that I was going to start, not necessarily be a WIP. And I was going to make two cross back aprons, a cutie pattern designed by Debbie Brown. And I made those aprons prior to the holidays. And I brought one to New Jersey and left it there for when I'm down visiting in New Jersey and cooking. And of course I have the one here that I always use for cooking. And then I made this guy here, which I'll just show you a little bit. Originally, I thought this cutie pack of fabric was knitting and sewing and yada blah. No, it's just knitting. I don't knit. But it has pink in it and it has black in it and it looks cute. And so I made it. I love it. And I used my sewing fabric from my stitchy friend for the straps. And my plan is, I pull this out of my retreat bag, my Socation bag. I'm gonna wear my apron during sewing, and I'm gonna tell you why. As I unpacked my winter sweaters and, you know, do the change of season, all these threads, they're so embedded and entwined into my sweaters, and I'm thinking, why do I have all these threads? Well, because you wear these sweaters to Sewcation, it gets all up in there and gets all in. And yeah, I'm still gonna wear my aprons. Plus, you get 2 pockets. Put all your stuff. So there's my aprons. I do finish things, as you can see. Okay. So let's see. Oh yeah, where'd that go? All right. I hope you're having fun with your WIPGO. Now, real quick. It's your board, right? You can change it. You can do it how you want to do it. But the whole idea is set your goals and don't modify them too much so that you, at the end of the year, see this as a really great exercise to finish the things that you wanted to do. So as I chat with all my friends along the way, I chat with my friend out in Ohio yesterday, and she told me about what was called on her board. And she said, and I have to do it. She doesn't bend. Nope, that's what it says. I'm doing it. Because she's from Switzerland, and that's how the Swiss are. They're like, they do it, especially her. And then I talked to another friend today, and she's laughing. Through her laughter, I hear her tell me that she basically, it sounds like she's doing her WIPGO board, like she's filling it out like a journal. Like, I'm gonna do this in January, so I'm gonna put this in the box for 15 and this in the box for 18. I just thought that was hysterical. I don't care how you do it. Do what you need to do. But have fun with it, right? That's the whole idea. So if you have any questions, go on the Facebook group, What's Under Your Needle. Join. Doesn't take much. Answer a couple questions. Tell your friends, because the only way they're going to know about this really fun group and activity is if you spread the word. This video is public, but you know, if you don't have that many subscribers, it doesn't show up in the search, whatever. I mean, it's not a popularity contest because, you know, who cares, right? It's just connect, build a community. So spread the word. If you know somebody who might be interested, tell them about my channel. Okay. So, what else do we have to tell you? I'm going to do a cross stitch video. That's going to be funny. I'm doing it mostly to entertain the cross stitch world because they're very experienced out there, and you might forget what it's like to not speak the language. The funny thing is, when I watch these cross stitch videos, these YouTube floss tube videos, they're cross stitchers and they're venturing into quilting, and they're clueless to a certain point, you know, to an experienced quilter. And you get that little chuckle like, oh, she's so cute. And then I think, you know, that's the reverse role for me. They're probably going to say, oh, she's so cute. Oh, she's still stitching on Ada. Yes, I am. And I don't care. But anyway, so I'll post it. You'll see it. It'll all be good. Some of my plans for the year, since I have WIPGO to help me get the things done that I've already started, I feel free, a little more free, to start more things. Not that, you know, I need anybody's permission for that, because I do. I start lots of things, but the other thing, I do finish a lot of things. So I'm not ashamed of starting. So I'm going to do my Sokations sewing, which I'm not totally positive. I haven't locked it down, but it's only Tuesday. I'm going to hold off on my WIPGO blocks until after Socation. And of course, you know, because I don't have enough things started, I have all these wool pennies cut, circles, pennies. I had a bunch of scrap wool and I cut all these circles last year. I mean, lots. And so yesterday I got my die cutter out and I cut some 3.5-inch circles. And I started a little scrap box of my wool stitching. I make scrap quilts, why not make? And so I'm doing simple stitching. The idea is to use the fabric. And I do have a plan. I have a square coffee table, and I like putting stuff on it because it's cute and I get to look at it. And so I'm gonna make like a penny mat. But I'm using bigger pennies, and you know, just a 2-layer, same color floss throughout. So there are 200 pennies in here, and I have another box of 200. That's 400, but it's a square table. It's kind of big, and I think, well, I'll make a topper for that. And maybe I'll make a little like mug rug or even whatever. There's a TV table. There's lots of things that I can do with those. And so in my plans, I have this. And part of my New Year's resolution, I'm just checking the clock. Got to get done before the clock chimes. I need to stop watching garbage TV. I just like some alone time at night, and I wind up watching garbage TV. Like The Real Housewives of Anywhere. I don't really care. I just want to listen to them. I want to watch them argue with each other, and it just kind of reminds you of family, right? But it's junk TV, really. It's like, you get nothing out of it, really. There's no education. There's nothing. There's no mystery. There's, you know, so I call it junk TV. But I love my medical shows and I love my mystery stuff. But in order to feel better about it, I'm put this by my coffee table right here or by my little seat situation. And I'm gonna sew these little buggers while I watch TV, which I did last night. So I did 10 pennies. I like the pennies, I like the 10, I don't know. So you figure it only take like January, should have box 1 done. But you know what, it doesn't matter if it doesn't get done by January. Okay, so that's in the plans. I have some secret stitching going on. All right, I'm gonna give you a couple hints. It's English paper piecing. How's that for a hint? And it's going to be, I plan on having it be a stitch along that starts later this year. There's a lot of stitch alongs out there, but the reason I'm doing this particular one, it'll all make sense when I start it, is to help a friend with a very difficult quilt. And I was inspired, and I think it was Pinterest, by someone who took this difficult pattern and said, I'm doing it as English paper piecing. I'm like, hello, I never thought of that. That makes perfect sense. And oh, it will be so much easier. And you know, I like to help people. I like to enable them. So in order to do that, I need to sew a little bit of that project myself. So I'm going to start that. A couple of things I want to mention before I sign off is I talked about Pinwheels, pinwheels.com. You can visit Maria's website, get in on her stitch along with her Hexis. Let me just say, she's going to be introducing you to a new product. She's been using it for a long time. A new product that really changes English paper piecing. I'm really not kidding. It's a true story. So even though I don't plan on doing her full stitch along, I do plan on using her new product and doing a little something with it. And so I encourage you to go out and check that out. She's going to start that January 25th. You can sign up now. So go on the website. She's got a picture of the start and tells you some details. It's a very reasonable price for what you're going to be getting. And you can buy the stitch along package with just the English paper piecing tool that you need, the template, things. I don't want to spoil it. Or you can also get it with the WIPGO fabrics, like as a fabric kit. You can choose, but either way, the price is very reasonable. So check that out. And a quick reminder, now a lot of you here and on my Facebook group are friends from over at Debbie Brown Quilting. And you found me through Debbie and doing her color blocks program, scrap program. And I'm so happy to have you. Welcome. And tell your friends and spread the word. But I want to remind you, in case you didn't know or realize, every year that Debbie runs her color blocks, you have to sign up each year. Just so you get your access. So you want access to the color blocks stitching. It's a free, and no, she's not selling you anything. She's not. So it's really a free program to help you use your scraps. All of the quilts use 2.5-inch squares sewn into an 8 patch. Is that right? No. It's an 8-inch block, I'm sorry. But it's a 16 patch. Trust me to give you the wrong details. I made a lot of those quilts, and here's one of them right here. This is like the snowball block from first year, I think. I'm not sure because it's all a blur. It's all a quilting blur. But Debbie publishes a free quilt pattern every month. So that's 12 patterns. After this year, that's 36 free quilt patterns, ladies. Come on now. And every month she also tells you how to quilt it on your domestic machine. And if you have a long arm, you can adapt it to the long arm. But more people have domestic machines for quilting than long arms. And Debbie was going to make sure everybody knows how to get that quilt finished, because it's very important to her to spread the joy of machine quilting. It's her mission. And so 12 free patterns, 12 free machine quilting videos. And be sure to sign up. Quilt Blocks 2023 is, what'd she call it now? Quilt Blocks 2023 goes wild. And each of the monthly projects this year are going to have something to do with animals. And the first quilt is cute little cat faces. Well, their heads, you know, silhouettes. It's kind of cute. Very cute, really. I can see this adapted to Halloween. Just saying. So go ahead and sign up at DebbieBrownQuilts.com and click on the box for color blocks. Don't forget about Sokations and the Stitch Along. And I'm going to try and tell you about more of my other friends, because I got friends doing stuff. Keep you interested, keep you well stocked on projects. Thanks for joining me today. Doing pretty good. Not even 1 o'clock. This is a 30-minute video. I hope it had some content that really kept you interested. I hope to show you more things that are finished as I go along. And thanks so much for being here with me. And I look forward to seeing what's under your needle. So post your pictures on the Facebook group. You can also find me on Instagram at Gina Zalesnock. I'll put all these details in the description box below the video, so you just have to click the link. Jessie Marie Does Stuff is where I originally discovered WIPGO, and she just put out a new video that explains the program as she uses it for cross stitch, and she is the creator of this fun little tool that keeps you organized and accountable. So you'll want to check her out. She's quite lovely, actually. And another feature that I'll be doing as we go along is telling you about some of the YouTube channels that I watch, because I watch a lot of them. Because I watch them while I'm stitching, and I stitch a lot, so I don't do books on tape or whatever, ebooks. I just like quick things I can watch, I can focus on, and I can just leave the room and hit the pause button and cook dinner and change the laundry. And anyway, I bored you enough. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy your stitching, and let me know what you got under your needle. Till next time, bye-bye.